Now, what you notice is that every one of these icons really does explain very well what we're on about. That looks like an aerosol. You cannot send it. That looks like a whiskey bottle. You cannot send it. That looks like a bullet. You cannot send ammunition apart from airgun pellets. That looks like a cell phone battery. That looks like a car battery. That looks like, well, some other type of battery. That looks like one of the bins that actually you're in a surgery and they get rid of the sharps. That's cannabis. You cannot send that. You cannot send acid or a severed hand, because that comes under this piece as well. Human and animal remains. So that one's actually quite good. Dry ice. You can't send that. Electronic devices, except for at the bottom, containing lithium batteries, when it's actually in one piece, I suppose. Big batteries. Environmental waste. Can't send that. You can't send fireworks. You can't send flammable liquids. You can't send flammable solids. There's a liquid. It's a pebble. There's a little puddle there. You can't send a solid. That's a gas canister. You can't send that. That's an urn. You can't send that. Someone being sick or shouting, but you can't send that. You can't send lighters. That's a big bottle. It looks like a litre bottle. You can't send that. That's perfect. You can't send matches. Nail varnish. You can't send that. That looks like a chemical bottle, but it's pretty good. Perfume. That's a perfume bottle. Pesticide. Well, it's a spray with a skull and crossbones on it. That looks pretty good. That's a barrel. So that's like toxic waste. Okay, fine. That to me looks like a paintbrush with paint on it, which is solvent based. That looks pretty good. Waste. Is that what you say? Weapons. It's got a Bowie knife. Of all the symbols on there, you can send a Bowie knife in the international mail. It's the wrong drawing. And even then it goes, including the firearms, CS gas and pepper sprays, flick knives, tasers and stun guns. Including. So even all these doesn't cover all what weapons that this section covers, including those. So there's more and more. So that would make anybody who doesn't know exactly what we're on about think, well, it's all knives. It's flick knives, push daggers and ballistic knives. That is a Bowie knife. You can send that in the international mail. Hello, Scott from Wessex Blades. Today I posted off the 2 blades to Mike in New York for the Gear Bastion draw. While I was there at the post office, I sent them off nice as pie and anything. They were in a little packet, that was fine. But I've actually got the leaflet, okay, with the icon that has a Bowie knife on it. Now on the front there's also a handgun emblem, but when you get inside they lose that and solely depict weapons as a Bowie knife. So I've written another letter. There's been a few more incidences of confusion, so I've included them as well. So it goes along the lines of this. Alright. Dear Mr. McBride, thank you for your letter dated the 31st January 2013 concerning my concerns over the new literature covering items you cannot send in the international mail. However, simply repeating Royal Mail policy on restricted goods and weapons was not going to redress my issue. My issue is with the latest leaflet, valid from the 14th of January 2013, which depicts items alongside their description to assist customers and workers on what is acceptable or not to send internationally. This material is also being referred to by Post Office counter staff to determine post within the UK as well. Specifically, the problem is the graphic used for weapons, and the icon is of a Bowie knife. My concern increased upon seeing this leaflet for myself. On the front of this handout are 31 images, including the handgun, prohibited, and a Bowie knife UK legitimate. However, within the leaflet only 30 icons are present and weapons are solely represented by the Bowie knife. The handgun I would have considered to have been a perfectly simple expression of what constitutes an item that cannot be sent, as handguns in the UK are banned. The Bowie knife is wholly misrepresentative in this area. Classing knives as weapons is a hornet's nest of opinions and views that few people will ever agree on unless they are experienced with their design and their philosophy of use. To include two different weapon icons on the front, and yet only one, and that a knife which is legal to own and post within the UK and most international countries, is to me a bad choice of depiction. As mentioned in my previous letter, I stated instances recently where colleagues of mine were refused the service of sending their packages to mainland and international destinations solely due to this Bowie knife icon being viewed by a post office counter staff member and deciding that as the item was a knife, it is a weapon and therefore cannot be sent in the mail. This is not enough accurate information or indeed training for a correct judgment to be made in this area. The knives concerned are fully legitimate to own and post and use. I have since heard that a colleague in the USA was refused service at a UK postal department. He was trying to send a Martindale's Glock No. 2 to the UK. He was told he can't, as the British Post Office class knives as banned. Not only in the UK are Royal Mail and Post Office policies getting misread or misunderstood. This week I had a commission from the USA to reprofile a Martindale's paratrooper machete and to post it to Scotland because its item was refused at another USA postal counter. Yet again because the teller believed that the British Post Office classed all knives as banned items in the mail. Both these outdoor tools are legal in the UK to own and use. Every icon seems to accurately portray each class of item. Not allowed to be sent internationally. The bullets look like ammunition, the corrosives look like acid burn in a hand, and the fireworks indeed look like explosive, but the knife depicted in that area is allowed to be sent. This image is causing confusion and is technically wrong. This image has caused many misinformed decisions. The handgun icon, it was indicative of a weapon. It was used on the front, but not on the inside of the leaflet. If an icon seems to be the politically sensitive image that's indicative of a weapon, then depict a flick knife, banned. Not a Bowie knife, legal. I again trust you to arrange a suitable initiative that will ensure clarity over the precise descriptions of the weapons section, namely ballistic knives, push knives, flick knives, among others which are banned. The vast majority of knives come under sharp objects and so require safe packaging and are permitted to be posted to all countries that have not restricted that particular style of blade. Thank you again for your time and attention in this matter. Yours sincerely, Scott Williams. See if we get somewhere with that one. Thanks for joining me again. Scott from Wessex Blades.